here and right now. This is something that's been worked on for a few months now. And also I want to acknowledge Nick Thompson for really helping and being a part of this and helping to speed things along as well. So thanks so much, Nick, for your leadership and helping to get things organized and also organizing myself. So what we're doing here today, guys, and why I'm so excited and why you're looking at these two other people that some of you may have seen or may not have seen, is that we're really revolutionizing and changing the way that we've been doing things and really bringing it into the 21st century. So, you know, through the MLM model that you hear over and over through our team and other teams, you know, you hear the constant sort of, you know, should we do things this way? Should it be that way? Or how should we do this? And how do we measure this? And how do we keep record of this? And so things have, you know, in the industry, not always been the most simple. And even though we've implemented our own systems and strategies, as most of you will know through the coaching documents and the Google Docs we've had in the videos, what we're doing now is really pulling all that together to make things so much simpler and keeping things, there's Cheryl again, hey Cheryl, to keep things, that's okay, you just stay there on mute, no problem, that's all good, no problem at all. So what we're doing is really simplifying things and going to be pulling them together and making sure that it's much, much easier to grow the business. And so we've basically compiled all our resources, everything into one place, and as well as you guys getting an amazing front-end sales system that's going to be working for you. This is going to be an ever-evolving system, so it's not like done once and that's fixed. It's going to be ever-evolving, improving, and changing. So the reason why we've come to this point is because I've been constantly looking for something to help pull us together. I've looked at a lot of different systems and people touting, you know, we can help do this and build a back end for this and do that. And why I ended up choosing these two lovely people here is that they've been on my radar, Marsha and Miguel. This is who's going to be delivering the presentation shortly, the Pajama Bosses. But they've been on my radar. I've been following them for a long time, and they've put out a lot of different courses. They've created a 7-figure network marketing business in multiple countries. And what I loved about what they had done is they've actually walked the talk. So a lot of other people that you see with systems and promising this and promising that have not necessarily built a network marketing business, but they may have been an expert in sales funnels only or in building a brand only, but hadn't actually built inside the industry that we're in. And so when I saw the duplication system, so that's what led me to really want to explore this. And then when I saw it and really checked it out, it was phenomenal. So I'm very grateful for the work that Miguel and Marsha have put in, which is a lot, to get this thing customized, because I've had a good look at it, the client management system, etc. They're going to share all this with you, but it's been done very, very well. And what I also love about you two, now that I've been dealing with you for the last few months, is that they're constantly wanting to improve things and really giving their all. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And I'm grateful that they're now here to help guide us as well, and to help us really take all our businesses to the next level. So without further ado, I want to congratulate you all for being on here and launching our system, Accelerating Wealth. And please welcome Marsha and Miguel, the Pajama Bosses, who are going to run you through this and show you what it's all about. So thank you so much, guys. Over to you.
Wow, Michael, thank you so much for having us. We're super excited. We're dialing in from Las Vegas. Believe it or not, we just got off the stage. We're speaking at a generic event here in Las Vegas, and we were talking about creating duplication systems. And literally, thank you for being so patient, because we postponed this for half an hour. The event was running late, and that's why we ran over it. And so we're super grateful for everyone who's here. We're so excited to share with you, you know, of course, the Accelerating Wealth, but we do want to, you know, chat to you a little bit about duplication and why it's important.
And it's going to be, and it's going to be, I'm super excited. It's going to be kind of a chat. So here's the thing. The first thing that we would like you to do is to check that you can hear us okay. You know, can you guys put your hand up if you can hear?
There's a small icon to put your hand up.
There's a small icon.
Just click on it. Oh, we can see the hands.
Kylie. Awesome. Oh my goodness. So many people.
That's awesome. Great to meet you all.
Awesome.
Well, so if you're dialing in from, let's do a quick trick. If you're dialing in from Australia, raise your hand. Let's see the Aussies, how quick they are. Oh, we got Aussies.
Good day, mate.
If you're dialing from New Zealand, raise your hand. We got a big group there. That's awesome. Look at them. Mike is in New Zealand today. And of course, but not least important, is Indonesia. Indonesia, guys?
Indonesia, where are you?
Loud and clear. Awesome. Raise your hand if you can. Awesome. So really, what we want to do for about an hour today, Miguel and I will share a few principles about how we actually think about duplication. And now that you guys have an amazing system called Accelerating Wealth, how you can use it to your advantage so you can double and triple your results with your USANA business. Would you guys like that? Would you like to double and triple your results? Absolutely. So we're going to share our screen for about half an hour. We have a little PowerPoint. And also we're going to go into your system and explain everything how it works, right?
That's right. And as I said before, we are very excited because the reason for that is, again, let's pre-frame things in the right way or the way that we like pre-framing things, okay? So first of all, we appreciate every single one of you that is taking the time. And one of the things that you never get back is time. So hopefully this kind of hour and a little bit that you're gonna spend with us is gonna be well worth it for you. That's the first thing. Second of all, we are not perfect. So whatever we share with you today is something that has been working for the past 12 years for us, and it keeps working for us. And that doesn't mean that it's the only way. What we feel is a way that can help you to build your business in a very particular way where you can have the lifestyle that you want. It's not about the money, it's about the lifestyle, right? So we're gonna go through the presentation, we're gonna show you the system, and at the end, whatever questions you have, please ask. Don't be shy, there's no silly question. The most important thing by the end of this webinar today and this presentation and all the chat that we're gonna have is that you kind of close that computer, right? And you have a clear idea of where your business is gonna go and how you're gonna do your business from now on. Is that fair enough, guys? Yes?
Let's see the hands,
yes,
if we can still see the hands.
You can hear and you agree, yes? Yes.
Awesome.
Awesome, perfect.
So how many of you are ready to scale your business to 6, or if you're already a 6-figure earner, to 7 figures?
Yeah.
We get you to participate a lot on the same.
You're gonna be clicking a lot of the button tonight.
Look at Mike going with all his hands, with the feet, with everything, right? So what we're really going to talk about is, how do you scale that? And, we really want you to understand that it's not just about scaling the business, it's about decreasing your work hours. Now, how excited would you feel if you could scale your business 3, 5, 10 times and decrease the hours at the same time?
Possible?
Is that possible? Yeah, it is possible.
Maybe.
And just so you know, Miguel and I are super, super passionate about network marketing. And we're going to really teach you the right way. This is not some overnight, magic or internet marketing. This is real in the trenches. We have been there and held the people's hands to be able to do it. And so the reality is, if you want to do that, you can't just work that much harder. You need more leverage. And that's what we are here to really talk about today. You're going to learn a little bit about why perhaps you're not experiencing enough duplication. We're going to talk a little bit about the bulletproof recruiting method that you'll be able to use with your brand new system called Accelerating Wealth, and what your biggest leverage is for duplication. So we'll go through all of this, but we want to first share a little bit about Masha Miguel. I mean, really, the only reason we may be a little different, you may have had some great trainers or perhaps heard some great trainings in the past, but we feel that we're a little different because we're actually doing what we're about to teach you. We are 7-figure earners, and we have a business in many, many countries around the world, including Asia, and we've certainly built in Australia and New Zealand. And, we continue to achieve thanks to our team, to the leadership that we've been able to build through the systems, right, that we actually created. And so we call ourselves pajama bosses, but it's really about what we really are passionate about is creating custom-built duplication systems and working with leaders like you guys to scale their businesses, because we remember from our story, how we were stuck and how frustrated we were. And even though we have done a few things right in our career, what we really learned from is the things we did wrong. And so
there were a lot of them.
There are a lot of them.
Definitely a lot of them. So as you probably can tell, our accents are not Australian, right? Not even close.
We do live in Brisbane.
13 years in Australia, and I cannot I tried the Good Day Mate, but it just doesn't work very well for me. So anyway, we arrived to Australia in 2004 with not that much money, and you know, with a lot of dreams, and we fell in love with Australia. You know, it's a beautiful country. We love Australia. It's been 30 years that we've been there, and we were introduced into network marketing by a 17-year-old girl. And the reason we were introduced to network marketing is because we were sick and tired of, you know, the job that we had that was not enabling us to have the lifestyle that we wanted to have. So we thought there was something out there. We didn't know what it was. And that's how we got introduced, right?
In fact, you know, Miguel and I come from 2 countries in Europe, Spain and Slovenia, and we really had gone to school for a long time, hoping that the good job would save us for the rest of our life. Miguel trained to be a commercial pilot. I'm a medical researcher. I have a PhD. And so, you know, all of that summed up, we signed up in network marketing with the hope and dream to have something better. But it didn't quite come through straight away. I mean, 2 years into our business, you know, just remember, we had studied hard for 20 plus years, but now 2 years into the business, we're earning barely enough to pay for our food, rent, and basic expenses. In fact, we're going backwards. You know, we're getting into debt and investing all of our income back into the business. Has anyone ever done that? Just quietly? Yeah.
No.
Don't repeat this at home.
That.
And, you know, we're living in a small 2-bedroom apartment. This is the car that we're driving. And Miguel at that time has to go back to work and drive this 14-year-old Suzuki Swift with more than 250,000 miles and no brakes. And he's going to a bank just, you know, during the day to work in a day job to really support us through this hobby that we're having. And so we're starting to question, you know, is this really what we want to do? I mean, honestly, we had a lot of better opportunities at that point, and we're working hard. And so we're questioning, you know, is this really the leverage going to kick in? What is it that we're doing wrong? And so, you know, the dangerous thing was that we were really so close to creating success. You know, the worst thing was that after doing this for 2+ years, we really saw that we were wasting time. We're chasing the wrong people, and we were only focusing on recruiting. In fact, a year into the business, the first year of our network marketing career, we had sponsored over 100 people. But when the 12 months renewal came up, we looked at our downline, there wasn't even 100 people left using product, let alone doing something.
Have you had that happening to you? How many of you have been more than 1 year in your business already? Let me, a show of hands, how many of you?
Right?
A few, yes.
Yeah.
So has this happened to you before? You know, you sponsor a lot of people, and then at the end of the year, it's like, oh, where is everybody?
Correct.
Right?
And so, you know, also what we're seeing is that people who are coming in, you know, basically are not doing anything. So we're getting continuously stuck into this treadmill of continuously recruiting and new people. And, you know, really, it was not looking well. After 10+ years, you know, fast forward now, we learned something that we're going to share with you really the hard way. You guys get to cheat and get the easy way. But, you know, really, would you guys like to have the option to stay in your pajamas, you know, wherever you are in the country that you are, and work
they're
from
already
home?
putting their hand up straight away.
We don't even finish.
Of course. Who doesn't want that, right?
Don't repeat this at home. And, you know, we're blessed now. In our best weeks, we earn, you know, $30,000+ US a week. But the most important out of this is not about how good Miguel and Masha are. It's about the fact that we're able to systemize and help literally thousands of people create 6-figure incomes, working only 4 to 5 hours a week in our business. And a picture tells 1,000 stories, doesn't it?
Yes, and that picture that you see on the screen is the picture of our life, our business life, let's say, in this profession. Because that day, basically, we went into the room, and I turned around and I said to Masha, "Do you realize that everybody's in our team?" And Masha's like, "Oh yeah, that's true." So anyway, so we turned around, we took that picture, and every time we see that picture, we kind of get reminded of the magic that this business can actually bring to your life. Because all these people that you see at the back, you know, they were all people that had a dream, right? And they were willing to take a chance to do that. And the only reason they had the chance because we developed a system where everybody had an equal opportunity to actually share the opportunity with others. And that's how you can get the duplication. And we're going to get into that today. So
the first concept that I want you guys to understand is actually the fact that the majority of your long-term income will not come from recruiting. Now, let's get something really straight. Is recruiting important?
Really?
Is recruiting important? 100%. Raise your hand if you think recruiting is important.
Yeah.
It's super important. It's the most important skill that we can all learn. But there is plenty of network marketers that have mastered recruiting and are not earning six figures. And that's why, you know, when we looked at, actually, we were interviewed on a podcast at one point by somebody called Richard Burke. He's called MLM Superman. How many of you know Richard Burke? Ever heard his podcast? And he interviewed us, and we had to fill out a form and actually write down how many people we sponsored, how many in our team, and all that. And we realized that out of, I don't know, 60,000 something people, actually, that whole business, you know, 90-something% of it came from 6 people. Can you imagine? And so we started to look at our business in a different way because we now understood the majority of your long-term income comes from duplication. So, you know, most of the time people stay here on top of the funnel. They're looking at the prospects and filling the funnel with lots of prospects. And then as the prospects drop in and become members, they leave them alone, but they keep filling the funnel. But the most of the money, guys, will come from getting these prospects into your first rank, medium ranks, and major ranks into your company.
And that's what Assistant can do for you and can do for them, because it's not about you at the end of the day. We are all in this call, and you know, it's always about the new person that is going to come into your team, and what are you going to give them so they have the best opportunity to actually do something with that excitement. You know, remember you guys when you got started, right? Somebody showed you the opportunity, USANA, great product, and also there was an opportunity to do something different in your life. Yes, you guys remember that, how excited you were? So when you are so excited, right, that person doesn't have the knowledge. So would you agree that you kind of need to give them a little bit of a guidance, right, and a path that they need to follow, right?
That is true. And so would you guys now like to eliminate the 3 reasons why your team is not duplicating as much as you would like? Would that be cool? Would you guys like that? Here's the first 2. Number 1, we're going to talk about you making it look too hard. If you're making and you know, this is so hard because some of you are great leaders, you have great skills, you have incredible leadership. But the fact is, if you need to be there for every step of the way and you're actually doing a lot of the processes, the business, the recruiting, you are making it look too hard, 100%. That's what happened to us. And so guess what most people are saying? Well, it's good for you guys, but that's too hard for me. I could never do what you do. And that is what killed our business, you know, starting right from when we were still driving around town doing one-on-one presentations, and we would go and do literally 5, 7, 9 presentations a day. And we were, you know, we're recruiting, but who can do that really? And who wants to do that? Nobody, right? And the other thing was then when people were starting in our business, they weren't actually doing anything because we didn't give them any instruction on what to do next. And so guess what? We'd get some people in, and 30 days from sponsoring them, they may be using the product for a little bit, but because we didn't really do anything with them, sometimes they hadn't had enough education in even to use product. And so guess what? We were making this whole business all about us. It's about how good we were and how much we can do it and how much we can help everyone. And even though we tried to do our best, that's all we knew. Really, that was detrimental to duplication.
And yes, because at the end of the day, have you guys had this thing like somebody calls you and says, how can I do this? Or where can I find that? Or have you had those questions before? Yeah. So the challenge was, at least for us, I don't know if it's the same with you guys, but what happened to us was that at the beginning, everything is okay. You're excited and you answer those questions. But as your team starts growing more and more and more, that one phone call becomes 2 phone calls, then becomes 3, 4, 5, and it just basically grows exponentially. And eventually you run out of time, right? So then you realize that your business depends on you. When you step off the pedal, your business stops, right? So there must be another way. That's what we're saying to us. There must be another way where we can still have a little bit of a lifestyle, you know, not just always working and answering questions and doing presentations and kind of running, you know, kind of crazy around the world. And in every single country, we would find exactly the same situation. And this is what you see on the screen right now. It's a beautiful, you know, apartment in Bangkok. And what happened is that after traveling around and settling in for about 8 months, we were traveling and we kind of, our base was Bangkok, Thailand. We realized of the following. We would travel to Malaysia, we would build team in Malaysia, and we would come back to Bangkok, and our team in Bangkok would be waiting for us to come back to do something. Then in the meantime, the Malaysian team would be calling us because they needed us all the time.
Right.
So we started to kind of run out of time to help every single person to grow their business. Have you been there before?
Yeah, basically we couldn't clone ourselves. And so the day our future changed forever is the day we really realized we got to build a system. We are sick and tired of having to do everything ourselves and not actually having any leverage. And so this is when we started to use the bulletproof recruiting method, so that we actually, and our goal with all of this was really simple. We wanted a brand new person come into our team, and 24 hours from when they start, they had sponsored their first person. Simple goal, not so easily done. So how many of you would think that your life, let alone your business, but your life would totally transform if, you know, let's say most people, not everyone, but most people that come into your team would sponsor their first person in their first day? How many people's lives would change right here? Yeah, you recognize that? So, you know, we didn't give ourselves a very simple task. And so we went on this search and we researched and we asked mentors and all of that. We came up with these 5 steps, all based on one concept, the inception. Now, it comes from this movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. And this movie says, you know, if you can implant an idea into someone's mind without them realizing it, you know, this is magic. And so we want to use this power for good in network marketing. What's the idea that we want to incept?
I can do this, and I can do this today. I don't need to learn anything. I don't need to do anything but take action, because it's so simple. That's what you want them to think.
No matter where I'm from, what skill I have, what it is, I can see the opportunity and the vision of this product, of this opportunity, of you sign a business. And guess what? I am going to sign up today because I can do this today. And so as you're thinking through these 5 core steps that we're going to take you through today, you know, just understand that it's all based on not what works, but what duplicates. Because what works goes a short way. And I see leaders all around the world, you know, using other systems and product ways of building the business. And they may be successful for a while and hit 6 figures. But then at 6 figures, it plateaus when you're doing things that only work and not duplicate.
Yeah, you know, the biggest compliment, we thought it was a compliment that we used to get after finishing a presentation. Wow, you guys are so good. You know so much. What do you think that the prospect that we had in front of us was thinking?
I can never do this.
I don't know if I'm going to be able ever to do that. Obviously, the ego gets really a good fluff, right? Like, hey, you know, you're so good. But what you're doing really just jeopardizing your own business. Is kind of counterproductive. I mean, counterintuitive, okay? And hopefully you understand what I'm saying, right? When we are kids, right, we go to school and we get a good education, and we need to be the best and have the most knowledge so we can actually get the best grades. And then we need to go and get a job. And in that job, we need to acquire more knowledge to be the best that we can be. Right. And in this industry, in this business, it's completely the opposite. You need to put your ego aside. You need to put your expertise aside and just be as simple as.
Right. The first step.
Pointing to a tool. You come and ask me a questions, you take the finger and you point to a tool. And while you're doing that, the person in front of you is thinking, wow, if Miguel can do this, he doesn't even speak English. You know, and he's pointing to a tool, he's making money, I can do that right now. I don't need to wait. That's what you want them to think. Instead of, wow, Miguel, you're so good, you know so much. Is that making sense, guys? Yes?
So step 1, in the first hour in the business, we get started with a simple getting started training. And in a minute, when we log into Accelerating Wealth, you'll see the amazing step-by-step way how your new team members will go through that. Now, this is by far the most important thing when you look at duplication. And in a minute, you know, we'll also explain the different timelines in the business. The first one is actually the first hour. When somebody signs up, they have the most energy and motivation. I mean, that's when you need to harness that. You need to get all of that, transform it into action straight away. If you don't, the person slowly disappears, may use product for a while, but it's really not going to do much unless you engage them straight away. And so, you know, you right in your system will now have a step-by-step way what to do in the first hour of the business. So if you want to relaunch your own business, you know, if you're kind of wanting to really take the opportunity of launching the system and really getting back into action, I would start from there. Just pretend you're signing up, no matter how big of a leader you are. You know, sometimes we all need to just go back to basics and say, you know what, I'm just going to pretend I'm signing up and do the basics over and over again. And I feel that's sometimes what's helped us, you know, when we were overcomplicating things. So you're going to have a video and a checklist that will help you to do that. Number 2 is obviously the 2-minute instant script that will help you to share the business. Now, Miguel was sharing all about, you know, how it has to be so simple. And so we believe that you do need to get in touch with someone over the phone. No matter how you generated that lead or actually created that relationship, eventually you're going to get on the phone. And when you get on the phone, you're going to share with them a video presentation. In your guys' case, you have obviously now a beautiful step-by-step sales funnel, you know, beautiful pages that are put together, and all of you will have actually access to your own so that you can have your unique link that you share with your prospect. And the point to all this is that these 3 steps, and the step 3 is obviously to be able to follow up. It is so simple to teach somebody who's just got started an hour ago that they can do it straight away. And so guess what your prospect, guess what your new member is thinking right now? I can do this. This is simple enough.
How many of you would like to have this person that you see on screen right now, Michael, doing the presentation for you every minute of the day, every hour of the day, 24 hours a day, no matter where you are around the world, and not just for you, but for your new members that are coming in and the new members that are coming in, and 20 levels beneath you, exactly the same presentation any time of the day, 24/7. How many of you would like that? Somebody that has the results, somebody that knows how to do this business, somebody that can show someone already the way. So you, the only thing you need to do, as I said before, is you take the finger and you say, go here and have a look.
Right.
That's all you need to do. Is that simple?
That's
Yes.
right. And so now that you have this process, guess what you will also have? Miguel just said it. You'll have Michael 24/7. You'll have the video presentation and the whole marketing funnel. And you can see the preview here. We're going to show you the real one in a second. You know, going from an opt-in page to a presentation page to a product overview page. And all of that is now feeding into a contacts management system. Miguel and I worked with so many complex contacts management systems in the past. And honestly, I mean, we couldn't figure it out, let alone everybody in our team. So we wanted to make something so simple that literally you do not need to have any learning curve. It is intuitive. No matter if you're 8 or 80 years old, you can actually use it and start working with it today. So that's step 3. So step 1, make sure you put people through the getting started training. Number 2, get them immediately sharing their link. And number 3, because you have everything automated, this is now actually starting to work for you. Does that make sense, guys? So that's the first 3 steps. Now, step 4 is, of course, now that you have, you know, people prospecting, and these are not necessarily experienced members, guess what they might forget to do? They'll forget to follow up, right?
Do you guys have people in your team that they love the talking part? Yes. And they kind of forget to collect decisions? Yes, because maybe they don't like it, or maybe they're afraid, or maybe they just forget. Yeah, do you guys have those? Yes, we all have them. And the challenge is always like, you can't just tell people what to do, right? So what you need to do is to create an environment where when people are very good at prospecting and, you know, getting people to watch the presentation or inviting them, you actually harness that, right? And on the other side, you teach them slowly how to follow up with people. And the way you do it is by having a few layers of follow-up. And you can do that with your being the upline, right? Or you can do it by the same system that is collected, that has collected the lead for the prospect that chatty person does, right? And put them through the system, can actually follow up on their behalf. So then you know that nobody's kind of falling through the cracks. Is that making sense, guys? Yep.
And guess what? How would you like to have an email sequence go out to your prospects that has been pre-written by your leadership that have set together and actually thought about it, for people who just want product, or for people who want to actually create some income as well? And that's something that we'll also be implementing in the future in your system as well. And this way, guess what? More people are signing up because there's a better follow-up, more layers. Not only that, they're getting started faster. So it's very, very important. Now, the final piece to this 5-step process is probably the most important one. In fact, somebody asked us the other day, said, what do you think, what component of a duplication system is the one that made a difference for you? Which one kind of tipped the scale? And Miguel and I unanimously agreed straight away, it is the leadership development pathway. Now that's a mouthful. It's actually not that hard. So the way we view the duplication, and you have it here, is actually into different timelines, of the person that starts in the business. So when they start, the first hour and the first day, the first 7 days, the first 30 days, the first 90 days, and the first year. And in each of these timelines, you have to deliver enough training and information for them to take action, but not too much for them to get overwhelmed. Does that make sense? I mean, did you ever give so much training and information to a brand new person that literally they didn't want to do anything?
I have.
Yeah, we certainly have.
The first thing that happened to us is it would take so much work to sponsor someone that what I personally would do, I don't know if you've done this. I would say, let's say Masha, I just sponsor Masha, and then I say, that's such a great decision, Masha. Now you can go home. You're going to get your products in the next 4 or 5 days. And once you get the products, you're going to use them and we'll talk. And I would make sure that Masha doesn't return the products, that she doesn't kind of regret the decision. So I would kind of push her away so she does something, which is just to use the product. Right. And then I would be hoping that she likes it so much that she comes back to me and says, I want to do business. And, 3 months down the line, Masha wouldn't even be in the radar anymore. So the next thing is it would say, okay, well, we need to do something with Masha, right? And what I would do is completely the opposite. I would get Masha and say, I'm so excited for you, Masha. So here's how this business works. This is the compensation plan. This is the ingredients about the product. This is this and this is that. And as I'm going through that, I can see Masha's face going like this. What? Do I need to know all this? So there is always a balance. And this is what you see on the screen is the balance. So the first thing that you do is, what is the most important thing that you need to do with when somebody signs up? When were you the most excited about your business?
Right.
When you just signed up, right?
And we talked about that in step 1. That first hour is actually the getting started training. But then that is not enough. I mean, we all know there's a lot of skills that we need to learn in network marketing. How do we deliver that? So we broke it down into small pieces, exactly when certain skill needs to be taught, and then automated everything so that your brand new team member can literally take their step-by-step, their business step-by-step, take action, get results, learn more, get more results. Does that all make sense? So how do you think your business would change if your brand new person literally had a layer of leadership development automated on a platform so that you don't have to worry what they know and what they don't? How would that change for you? Do you think that would make a difference? Raise your hand. If that would make a difference to your business, raise your hand. Yeah, look at them go. And so, that's what Accelerating Wealth is exactly there for you. It is because we want you to have the whole blueprint, literally from 0 to 7 figures, so that your people can actually have a layer of leadership development. Maybe they don't have a sponsor who's going to teach them. Maybe they'll never come to a company event when they'll get the information. So it needs to be taught so that it's always available and automated. And so really the biggest leverage is your new team duplication system, that is called. And obviously we're super, super excited. Look at this beautiful logo that Michael has prepared. And, we're so excited to now officially, Michael, do you want to officially say the name of your brand new system and your team system? Yeah, I think you're on mute.
All right, I'm unmuted now, I think. So Accelerating Wealth, which obviously ties in with our name, Global Health and Wealth Solutions. So that's why I wanted something that worked together, and also explained what we were doing for new people and for existing team.
Oh, that's fantastic. So how many of you guys would actually like a sneak peek into the system? Would you guys like to see what it looks like?
Just a couple of them, I think.
That's a really loaded question. I know. So what we're going to do is we're going to go now into Accelerating Wealth. In fact, I'm going to go right here, right now. And guess what? Right here on Accelerating Wealth, as you load your page and you log in. Now, each of you, of course, will have access to the system. You'll be actually able to get started right today on this call. And you know what? As you log into your system, this is what you will see right up here. This is Miguel's. Miguel has been prospecting.
Oh,
He's
wow.
been testing the system, of course. And you know what? This is all your notifications about your new prospects. But let's first look at the actual page that you each get to have and share the business.
Yeah, so just bear with us because we are in a hotel. And you know, those of you that travel a little, you know what happens with the internet in hotels. It's not very fast. So we're going to show you everything. But, you know, it might not be the fastest system in the world. But I promise you, when you use it yourself with a good internet, it's so good and it's so fast. So what is the first thing that we're going to do? So the first thing is we're going to talk to somebody, right? We're going to prospect someone. We're going to build that relationship. We're going to invite them to have a look to the presentation. And we're going to give them the link. And the link could be, you know, michael.acceleratingwealth.com. It could be marsha.acceleratingwealth.com, etc., etc. So
in fact, each of you get to choose. You know, when you first start with a system, you will actually choose what your link will be. So, you know, and then of course, the most important thing with this link, please do not post it on Facebook because you will simply not get any results. Please do not send it in an email or put it in a message without previously building a relationship and actually telling people about it. And actually in about 6 or 7 days, we're gonna actually do a very detailed training with everyone who's gonna get the system, who's gonna get involved. And we're gonna go through the step-by-step of what to say, how to use it. And of course, all of that is already in the training inside it as well. But we're still gonna do this live training so you guys can interact with us. Would that be cool? Do you guys like a training? Yeah, in the next 6 or 7 days? That'd be good. So that's why today we're not going into the real detail how to do it, but we're going to just overview of what is available. Is that cool? Okay. So let's say I share my link with Joy, and Joy goes to, you know, down here. Guess what? She opts in, and guess what she sees on the next page? It's actually a beautiful video presentation. And that presentation is actually in several different languages. Now, on top of the screen here, you can see that your prospect can actually click on different flags, and that will also actually convert into a different language. So the whole funnel, the whole sales funnel for your replicated pages is actually in different languages. In fact, if I was to click on the Indonesian flag, who here is from Indonesia? Who would like a really nice presentation in Bahasa? Would that be exciting? Let's just quickly have a look what happens when I do that. Oh, beautiful introduction. And guess what?
Hai, saya Ivan Akil.
And there is a Bahasa presentation, right? So no matter where you are sitting in the world, depending on your prospect, they can just click on a different language and actually have a different language presentation. Is this exciting? Do you think this is going to be something that can totally change your business? I mean, literally, you could be sitting in New Zealand and prospecting people in Indonesia with a super professional presentation here online. And all you got to do is pick up the phone and say, hey, what if I could show you a way to do this? Would you watch this 10-minute video? I think it's 12 minutes or so, right? And then from here, guess what? If you go back onto your dashboard, and now that this prospect called Joy actually opted into my, you know, funnel, guess what happens? Well, if I refresh this, look at this. I refresh this, I actually get a notification that Joy was added to my contact list. So now let's go into the contacts management system and show you how that looks. So Joy, you know, who's my prospect, it tells me her email, her name, and the time she opted in. But then on the right-hand side here, I also have a step-by-step way to follow what Joy does. Right now, she just became my prospect, right? But let's go back to that presentation page, because if Joy now just clicks onto any of these buttons below, right? She will, for example, want to know more about products, and guess what? There's some beautiful videos here, and these are the Indonesian videos, right? The Indonesian version. If you click back onto any of the other flags, you actually go back to the different countries. So the prospect can look in between and actually see everything. So now that I've clicked on a different link below the presentation video, guess what? Right now, if I now refresh my screen, guess what I will see? That Joy has actually now already watched the videos. Does that make sense? Super, super exciting, because guess what? You will be able to know exactly where this prospect is at. And we all know, we're going to give you on the actual webinar, training webinar we do with you guys in the next week or so, we're going to teach you how to make sure they watch the video, because one of the main challenges people have is, even though they have this beautiful website, they don't know how to make sure they get a commitment from somebody to watch the video. Does that make sense? So now, you know, I can also edit notes on Joyce contact details, like I met Joy on the plane, right? She has 2 children or 3 children, and so on. So you can save all that and update, and so you know where exactly you're at with each of your prospects. And then if you go back to your contacts management system, you will see all of your prospects in one place as well. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, well, I mean, how much time do you think you can save yourself when you have a new team member that comes in and the only thing they need to do really is to actually get people to click on a button? You know, you don't need to do the presentation. They don't need to do the presentation. The only thing they need to do is to make sure that they open their back office and they check that the prospect actually opted in, you know, and they watch the presentation so you can actually follow up. Is that good?
Now, the most important question. A prospect that you're approaching in this way, what are they thinking? They're thinking, wow, Masha sent me this link after she talked to me for a minute on the phone, and I'm watching it, and now she's answering some questions on the phone. Wow, that's simple. I can do this. So, you know, right from the beginning, because we are all about duplication, the way you prospect, recruit will be so simplified for you so that you can actually create massive action, save time, energy, and money, and this way go through more people and spend more time connecting with new people. That's right. So how's that? Do you guys like this? This is like the first kind of 10-20% of your system. Do you guys like this? Do you like the replicated funnel?
So far, so good.
Is that good? Yeah.
Some of them, a couple of them.
That's awesome. Now, let's talk about leadership development. Do you guys remember when we said the first step of the 5-step recruiting method that duplicates is a getting started process? And of course, your fearless leader who not only invested his own money to create the system, he also put in a lot of time and effort to create some very, very customized trainings. One of the most important one, like we said, is the one training that you share with a brand new person when they start. And that is the 10 steps to get started. So, and again, the hotel internet is a little slow, but there is a beautiful video here.
We promise you there is a video there.
So that is the video, you know, when somebody signs up in your USANA business, and if they are there not just to use the product, if they're a customer, that's wonderful. You know, it's always great to have lots of customers. But if they're there to make a part-time or a full-time income, they gotta be using the system, because the first thing that you're gonna get them to do is to actually get them through this very simple 10 steps to get started. You know, things like, you know, making sure that you make a list of a few people that you may, you know, actually start sharing your products in the business, and so on and so on. So that is not everything, because that is, of course, only the first timeline of duplication. The rest of the timelines are actually in the leadership development platform here. Now, basically, this is everything you need to go from 0 to 7 figures. I mean, we've condensed it into about 10 hours of training. It is, you know, very detailed and so simple. They're broken down into 5-10 minute videos. And as you go through these videos, you will learn everything about, for example, how to effectively share your website and get people to watch it and follow up and all of that. So you're recruiting, right? But not only that, you'll also then learn, for example, and this one I think for some of them will be really exciting, you know, how to recruit people from Facebook or LinkedIn. How many of you would be excited if you could actually generate, you know, endless leads from Facebook or LinkedIn? Would that be exciting? How many of you would like that? So, you know, make sure that as you log into the platform, you go to level 6, video 2, and on this video, you're going to be learning all about lead generation through online and social media methods. Not only that, you'll be then in the next video, in video 3 of level 6, I think it's probably the most common video that people ask us about. And that video is all about, now that I've created a relationship with someone, right, on Facebook or LinkedIn or online, what do I say to them so that I can transition into sharing my link, right? Because that's where the money is. So there's a script and a training for that as well. And as you can see, this is a 7-minute video. All these videos, you can actually just, you know, make sure you can watch them on your phone, plug in a set of headsets or plug your car in there and you can watch it or listen to it. Even just listening to it would be great on the go. So it's very simple, consumable information.
And, you know, it's all this is great. And I keep thinking, you know what the best thing of this kind of system and all this is is the leverage. And the leverage or the duplication is that I am no longer necessary in my business, in terms of I don't need to explain to every single person how to do anything, really. Like, the only thing I need to do, as I said at the beginning of this presentation, is I only need to point to the tool. I only need to say, Masha, that's a great question. If you want to know how to get more leads, go to the training section.
Yeah, why don't we just move away from the table?
A few people coming in. So, and that's the only thing she needs to do, right? I just point to the tool, and Masha needs to go and watch that presentation. And then she's going to take action on what she learns. So I'm no longer necessary, and I don't need to spend the time doing that. My time is much well spent, you know, prospecting new people, putting them, connecting, building relationships, and spending time with team members and helping them to actually sponsor more people. Is that making sense, guys? You guys follow a little bit what we're going through?
That's right.
Yeah.
Then we have a whole section here that is called My Team. And under My Team, first of all, you'll have a wonderful section about leadership where you have your team's leadership profile. So Michael and Dr. Nick, Beck, Taryn, Nick Thompson, you know, that's so awesome. And this is both for edification, but also for recognition. As you guys and other members in the team are achieving ranks, guess what? This is the central place where you can recognize them with putting their pictures and stories. Not only that, there's a full calendar of events. So no matter where, Jakarta, you know, Indonesia or New Zealand, as you click onto those, you know, events, you'll be able to have the link, the map, everything there. So it's really very simple for a brand new person to know what's happening. They can actually go and register if that's a webinar or buy a ticket. Everything will be there. And like Miguel said, you know, this is a system that will be continuously improving, not only adding the information that is current, but it's also about continuously improving the tools. And, you know, one of the tools that will be super important for you is your library. And under your library, you know, Michael and the leaders have compiled a set of amazing, you know, videos, audios, different things, PowerPoints, forms, and so on, so that you'll be able to actually look at things of how to do things. So for example, you know, self-management for success, simple videos that Michael already had, tips for success in Usana, how to master your invitation. Oh my God, so many things here, product training, so that, you know, a brand new person who doesn't know what to do and they're calling you, you only need to direct them to the right place. Now, I have a question. How many hours a week would you save if you had this resource so you can only point to it? So the team members and prospects who, you know, you don't know what to do, they literally have everything here. Would that be good?
And
how many hours?
And energy, right? Energy
Absolutely.
that you sometimes need to spend explaining things over and over again. And in the future, this is the other thing that we always say to leaders in the future. As you go through your, you know, your daily routines and you do your business, or your team does their own business, when you find yourself you're repeating the same thing over and over again, you know, 3, 4, 5 times over, it's time to kind of sit down and make a tool.
Yes.
And that tool can be then in this section. And then, what did I say at the beginning? It's all about pointing to the right place. So you don't need to spend the time again. And what that is going to do for you is going to give you extra time to do something else that is more productive, so you can get the business further faster.
So raise your hand if you think so far you would save at least 5 hours a week with having a tool like this. Raise your hand if, or keep your hand up if this tool is going to save you at least 10 hours a week. Keep your hand up, or raise your hand if it's going to be at least 20 hours a week. Now, in our case, we did actually look at what we were doing, and it was 40 hours between the two of us, so 20 hours for each of us. It was pretty crazy, yeah. And then the final piece of the puzzle is what we call a momentum planner and tracker. Now, this is a super simple process. Every one of you and your new team members will come in here and once a month actually set your goal. And this is really a tier level of income. So, you know, somebody who wants to earn $1,000 with Usana or 10,000, they are really a little bit different people, right? So in addition to that, you will then go and answer all the questions, you know, about your activities in the past 30 days. So I'm just kind of randomly answering some questions. They're all about how much activity I've been doing in terms of recruiting and duplication, right? And so if I submit this quiz, what the computer gives me is a personalized action plan for my income goal. Does that make sense? If my income goal is 10,000 or 1,000, do you guys see how different that is? Raise your hand, right? So the activity I'll be doing on a daily basis will be different. And so the computer spits it out and says, this is what you need to focus on. And guess what? Just so you can stay accountable to yourself, here's a tracker. So you go to the next step, which is momentum tracker. And here, every day, the last 1 minute of your working day, you will come in here and literally enter your activity. And therefore, not only does this show you how much you're progressing towards your monthly goal of activity that gives you an income, you'll actually be able to, stay accountable to yourself. Well, if you share 2 links today, guess what? You're now adding on to what you've already done this month. Does that make sense? And this is now getting you not only into action, but it's now really clear on what action you're doing enough of and what you're not doing enough.
And again, let's go again into duplication, into lifestyle that you're going to have when you apply things properly. Let's say that I have a team member, I don't know, again, whether you have this already happening to in your business. Have you ever had a phone call from somebody in your team in panic mode saying, I'm working so hard, nothing is happening in my business, and I need to talk? Have you had that before? Yes? Well, we used to have that a lot. And again, it was us drive to someone's place or a coffee place and meet and sit for coffee and talk about everything. And they would talk about their dog, their family, how everything is going wrong, and all these things. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Or we would sit in front of the computer and would talk for hours. And then at the end of that, the bottom line was that I would still didn't understand why they were not taking the action, how much action they were taking, what was the thing that was not going right in their team or in their business, right? Now, the only thing I need to do, I don't mind where they are around the world. The only thing I need to do is to say, Masha, you know what? Just calm down. Everything's going to be fine. Let's just jump on a Zoom call or Skype or any mean that you guys do. And the only thing I need to do is to say, Masha, can you open your tracker, your momentum planner and your momentum tracker? And when I have a look to this, I don't need to ask her many questions. I just see that she's very good at recruiting, right? And she's not very good at follow-up, for example, because the numbers don't match. So guess what? My focus today is going to be for her to focus on following up. And again, instead of me spending a lot of time telling her how to follow up, I'm going to say, go to lesson 3, module 4, or whichever one it is, and listen to the video that talks about how to follow up successfully. Or go to the library in the library section where you have all the videos, and go to the video that says how to follow up. Watch that video, and then if you have any questions, get back to me. How fast do you think you would go through and train every single person in your team that is your front line? Very fast, right? Do you think you are saving yourself time, energy, and maybe a little bit of money?
Lots of time for sure. And so really that's like a very, very brief overview of, how we actually created this Accelerating Wealth with You. Now, how many of you already believe that this is totally going to be a huge leverage for you? You're going to save lots of time, create a better income, decrease the amount of time that you're working. Yeah, I can see you guys. That's awesome. Yeah.
Hey, Kylie,
I totally believe it. So how many of you now want to know how you can get started? Would you like to know how to get started? And so here it is, Miguel and I would want to share with you exactly what you will have. So you will have everything that we have shown. So the full business and product marketing funnel. Miguel and I have actually built a lot of sales funnels for different companies and leaders and people. And, usually just the technology behind having a sales funnel will cost you a couple of $1,000s per year. That's literally what it is. And not only that, then to plug in a contacts management system, you're probably totaling almost $3,000 per year. Not only that, you now have everything customized to your company, USANA, your team branding. And this is huge. The team branding is actually what will distinguish you from everyone else. Because let's face it, USANA is an incredible company, but why should I join your team and not somebody else's, right? And so if I have a unique branded sales funnel, and then in addition, we have the leadership development training, just the one training, the 7-figure duplication secrets leadership development training, we sell on our website for way more than this. Not only that, there's tools, scripts, templates, there's a whole library that Michael has put together, the planning and tracking that we just showed you, all of these things together, you'll have all of this access in one place. And that's for me, that is the huge value, because we used to use 7 different platforms, believe it or not, and our team would have to have 7 passwords, and they would have to have 7 subscriptions. And so that is the value of the simplicity, and also people not getting distracted. And so the yearly value of using a system like this is way over $6,282. If you take action today is the 10th of June. It's the 11th of June in New Zealand. 10th of June right here in Las Vegas. But as of now, we do have a very, very special offer. So we're going to tell you about that. And, over $6,200 of value, you probably can see why it's a good value even at $1,000. In fact, we've been speaking to some leaders downstairs at the conference, and they said, wow, all of this, you get all of this? Can we just pay you like $5,000 because it will just save us so much time from building this? But we do not want you to pay that. In fact, we have what we call the founder package, the yearly package for the founders. And if you're ready to get started, the secret link, which is not really secret, is acceleratingwealth.com and then /go. So if you guys are ready to get started, then you can totally go there. And what you will find is that the price is way below $1,000 even. It's actually going to be just $347 US yearly and or $39 monthly. So like we said, acceleratingwealth.com /go. You can go there now.
So when you have a look really to the price, we were thinking, okay, so how can we put it as low as possible? And we kind of said, okay, so what about, it's almost like $1 a day, pretty much, What is it that you can do in your business? It's not even a coffee anymore. Like
no.
Everything is so expensive. So, but for $1 a day, you can have a system that can bring to you, thousands and thousands of dollars. For us, millions.
Absolutely.
And for you, that's what it can do. It's possible. It is very possible. But we don't like these kind of things about hype or anything. What I would say to you is like, get it, right? Apply it, and do not question anything. Just go do what it says. And if in the next 30 days you do not like it, you can send us an email and we will refund your money. That's how sure we are about this system and how it works. But at the end of the day, you can only do 2 things. One is to give it a go and say, what if this is a thing that is missing out in my business, and I apply it, I take it seriously once and for all, and I make it happen.
Right.
And the other thing is, if I don't do anything about it, what is going to happen? Well, probably nothing. You will keep doing what you're doing. So there's nothing wrong with that either. So
now on this page, there's a mistake. Until the 30th of June, 2017, the price is $347, like we said. But on that day, the price will go up. In fact, it will go up $50, and we will never have this $50 discount again. But we do want to reward you if you get started today as with another bonus, and that is if you start with $347, we want you to, in 12 months, if you decide to renew, there's no obligation, but if you do want to renew in 12 months, you will have this discount applied to your membership for life. Would you guys like that? Isn't that cool? Literally, we will always take $50 off, and this price will not be available after this. It's only available until the end of the month. So you guys can literally have some time to talk to your teams and get everyone in the same page. And why we are actually doing this is because we know that it's very important to unite a team into a single message. The more you guys understand that this is all about you doing the same thing, having the same marketing message as a team, the more things will duplicate. And that's why we really want to assist you in having this less than $1 a day price for the next 2.5 weeks or so. Almost 3 weeks, literally 3 weeks. And so in addition to that, now this is really because Michael is really good at twisting my arm. In fact, right now my arm is hurting a little bit. He really twisted my arm very hard. And for people who start on the yearly price with Accelerating Wealth today or between now and the end of June, we will actually give you 2 of our Pajama Bosses courses in addition. Now, we will never give those courses away for free again. So if you pay $347 and go to acceleratingwealth.com/go, you will get 2 courses. One is the Ultimate Pajama Party, which talks about growing your network marketing business through home business presentations. and also binary cash machine. And this one is all about understanding the strategies behind the binary compensation plan. And I feel that alone for me was totally invaluable to understand, because we literally doubled our income by just strategizing around the compensation plan. Does that make sense? These two courses sell on our website for around $600 in total. So that is a gift from us, because we really, really want to bribe you into getting started and making sure that you have this tool and see in the next 30 days how it actually, duplicates for you. Is that good? How many of you are excited? Would you like these two courses for free? Is that a good bonus? Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to get all the things inside that we saw, plus the 2 bonuses, plus the $50 discount. So if you start today, go to acceleratingwealth.com. So at this point, we really just want to, be able to answer any questions if you guys have it. And, if Michael, if you feel that there is something that we should mention or something that we haven't talked about before, then we certainly do that. But, for everyone who's listening in right now, so excited to be able to be here with you and able to share this moment, because I know when we launched our system, I think it was November 2012. So there's going to be 5 years right now for us in our business. Literally less than 18 months later, we were recognized on the company convention stage as millionaires. So for us, it made a huge difference. And I know that, from there, our life was made a lot simpler. Not just the income went up, but the quality of our life. We stopped, working too hard, our health improved, and many other things. So that's enough about us. So Mike, I'm going to pass it back to you, and we're going to be here for as long as people need and answer all the questions for you.
Awesome. So thank you so much to both of you for that. Can everyone see how much work has gone to the system? Just put your hands up. You can see how much work has actually gone into it. So that's what really impressed me, because as Marsha and Miguel said, they had 7 different platforms running before. And, the feedback I've had from a lot of you has been, hey, how can we organize this? How can we have this here? And literally this system puts it all together and does it in one awesome, good looking hub. So, and it works with us. And as I said, it's going to be ever evolving. So as we grow and as things change, our system will change and our system will improve. So it literally is a one-stop shop to plug everyone into, to make sure that everyone's getting exactly the same message, the same support, and we know they're going to get the same results. So I want to thank you both so much for all the hard work and research you've put into actually getting this done. And I'm excited for our team. I'm excited for all of you to really bump things up to the next level. So questions, any questions that you all have, please put them forward to Marsha and Miguel now. So let's have a look.
And first of all, thank you, Carolyn. This is amazing, she says. Everyone's really excited. One of you guys is asking, when a new member starts, will they get it for $39? Yes. So the monthly price will not increase. It will always be the same. We are not going to give any bonuses or any discount on that, so it's not as attractive. And also, very importantly, there is a 30-day full refund guarantee for anyone at any time. So if you purchase today, or your new team member in 5 months from today, they always, from the day they purchase, they'll have 30 days full refund guarantee. So the way I look at it is, I'm going to put my money down and I'm going to get the yearly. And guess what? This is incentivizing me now in the next 30 days to get my return on investment.
Yeah.
And literally, with a great business like USANA, the great products that you guys have, the great compensation plan, I mean, it takes so little effort, literally just a couple of people that you're signing up, that you get started. You get 100% return on investment.
And, I don't want you to make the decision based on what I'm about to say, but I think I think it will help you to understand the power of what the system can do. Okay. And again, please don't make the decision based on what I'm about to say, but I think you need to know, because it's super important too. So obviously we've been doing this, we've been creating systems for different companies and different teams and different companies, right? And one of the things that has happened, right, that we've been getting the feedback from leaders from different companies, is that the system works really well for them, right? And it takes a little bit of time for the team to adopt. But our approach, Masha's and Miguel's approach, always to this profession is a multi-million-dollar business. business per year, okay? And that's what we always done. Approach it from that mindset, that point of view. So every time we got someone, and every time we do get someone that comes to us, has a look to the presentation, and when we do the follow-up, they say to us, I'm excited and I wanna do or make a business out of this. This is what we say to them. We are in the business of making profits and helping people to get into profit as soon as possible. Would you like me to show you how? And if they say yes, we say to them, we approach this as a franchise model, pretty much, okay? And this is how we do it. We have a system that works, and this is how the system works. And what we do, and what these leaders are doing, you know, actually they're getting almost 100% of kind of quote unquote, we don't believe in the closing kind of thing, right? But they're saying closing rate. It's almost 100% because what they do is they do the steps that we were showing you in the presentation today. But in addition to that, when they do a three-way call, the upline or the mentor gets on a Zoom call like this, right? And what they do is they share the screen, they show them the system, they show the prospect how simple it would be for them to actually do this business. So guess what the prospect says at the end of that call? Wow, is it that simple? I only need to share that presentation that I saw.
That's right. And so actually one of you is asking, when do we get them started on the system? Would it be within a few weeks of getting them started with Usana? And it's actually the day you start them with Usana, because remember we showed them that getting started video, the 10 points that Michael recorded and created, that's the day you get them started. They need to get the system and go through the first piece of training. And that's what actually makes a difference in duplication. So that was one question for sure. Mick says, would this be great to use in conjunction with social media? As in, we could do a post, include the link, and people can register their interest. You know, you can certainly do that. There's nothing wrong with that, Nick. We have found that this does not work at all, because guess what? There may be a curious person that will go to actually check it out. But what really we all know that we get paid for in network marketing, it's relationship marketing. We need to get to know the person. And guess what? If I know Miguel's a pilot and he's working all weekends and all holidays, guess what he really wants? He says, I just want to spend some time with my family. I'm always away flying. If I say to Miguel, Miguel, if I can show you a way how to spend more time with your family and not always be away for Christmas, would you look at a 10-minute video that shares an opportunity that can help you to do that? Guess what Miguel is now thinking? Wow, there's something in it for me. See, when you post it on social media, it is so salesy and so obvious that you're trying to sell something that most people shy away. But when you do it personally, when you actually approach everyone in a different way, and that's going to be in the training, and next week when we meet, we're going to go through the step-by-step that as well. So, you know, you can totally try to do that, but I advise against it very heavily. Do not post it anywhere. Do not send spam emails. Do not send mass emails. This is not about internet marketing. And Miguel and I have had the privilege to work with some of the top internet marketers that are mentors, like Russell Brunson and many other people. And, you know, we also understand network marketing. And there's a big difference between the two. It's not about pushing mass traffic and conversion in network marketing. What it is about is creating so much relationship with that person and linking their pain with a solution that you have for them in Usana.
So what you can do, for example, and the thing that we do recommend to people is you can do those posts, but those posts without the link can build that relationship, create the interest. When somebody PMs you, sends you a message or comments and they're interested, then I'm going to find a way to get in touch with them and build that relationship just enough for them to actually go and click on my link when I give it to them at that moment, at that time, because at that moment and that time is when everything hurts for them, right? Does it make sense? So when I'm looking for something is when I got to a point in my life that I'm tired of being where I am and I want to move forward in a different way. And if at that moment I have somebody giving me a link that I click on, I will click on it. Make sense? So that's what you can do in conjunction. Like you can do one and you can do the other. What it usually doesn't work is what Masha was saying is because tomorrow, Masha can do that. She can do the post with the link. But tomorrow I can do another post with a different link. And guess what the prospect is going to do? Oh, I like that post today. I'm going to click on that one. There's no relationship, right? There's no relationship. There's no attachment. But when you actually do that, you set yourself aside from the majority of the people. Is that making sense?
How many of you guys really get this on a really high?
Basically, guys, they've got to be qualified first, which is what we teach, right? So unless someone's qualified to actually want to look, what they're saying is that if you just post it on social media, it's just not going to have the same impact until they're qualified.
And Caroline saying, can I see the percentage of the video that has been watched? No, Caroline, this is something actually that we're actually working on right now. But what you can see is what option below the video they have chosen. And that is really exciting. So, you know, I want more information, I'm ready to get started, or I want to get to know more about products. And so that's a really exciting thing. So you have a conversation starter. Again, you know, the whole video there is not about informing them, because we all know the first time we hear about network marketing and our opportunities, we don't remember much. So it's not about information. It's about creating enough curiosity so that when they do get back on the phone with you, there's a conversation starter. Does that make sense? So that's how we approach it. And, you know, it's really about getting people through that first exposure, getting them back on the phone, and then getting their decision from there. Those are great questions. Really good questions. How many of you now are a little excited about the system? Mike is very excited. So we're like 100 other people. It's so cool. Yeah. Whatever questions, Mike, is there something that you feel that we need to share that we've forgotten, or anything at all?
No, I mean, I reiterate, I think it's just really keeping things simple. And look, one of the things I've done in the past, and Carolyn, you've watched me as I've grown and done that, you know, one of the biggest mistakes I did was to present and do everything all the time at the start, which, you know, Miguel and Marsha touched on. And so this really just cuts it all out. And even though we have been using videos, you know, we've been using my 40-minute video, those are in place now, but now we've really gone down to like a 12-minute video or 13-minute video, I think it is initially. So it's really changing with the times and keeping things simple. So we're keeping with the concentration spans of the generations now, that social media and videos that pop up everywhere there. So simplicity is the key, and I think us not overcomplicating it. And I know with GHWS, we've been really big on coaching and development, which has been fantastic. But I think at the same time, one of the things I've witnessed is that we've overcomplicated it for new people coming in, and there's been too much coaching. And then people have been freezing and paralyzed, you know, paralysis by analysis, rather than just getting them going. So this is really going to help speed that process up and getting people results straight away, so their excitement level stays up and they're getting paid quicker. So
there's a really great question coming from Max, because I know we had little time and we kind of skipped through everything. So he's asking, so when I share the link with a prospect, they obviously don't have to pay, right? So that's correct, Max. So if Miguel's my prospect, I share my link would be like marsha.acceleratingwealth.com. So I give it to Miguel, Miguel goes there, and that is not password protected. That's an open page. Anyone can see that. And so it's obviously, you know, it's just a replicated funnel. Everyone has the same one, but when Miguel opts in with his details, I receive them because the page is mine. Does that make sense? So that is kind of the outside of the system. And then back office is where we were showing everything else, the training, the libraries, all of those things. And that's password protected, and that's of course your own, including the contacts management, which is where I see Miguel's name and email and all the details that come to me. So hopefully that clarifies it. Very good. Those are some good questions. Yeah, so, you know, and I think really probably, I know that you guys will have a lot more questions, but for now, I think it's important when you guys get started today, go in and dig in. On the back office, right on the dashboard, you'll have a little video, 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, about 15 minutes.
And really guiding you through the first steps of what you have to do. So everything is there, is broken down into very simple things so you don't get overwhelmed. This is all about simplicity, I promise you. And by the time we meet next week, you know, you guys have hopefully used it enough. You've come against some challenges or some questions or, you know, strategies that you want to know from us, because we really want to help you. And, you know, we haven't spoken so much about this, but what is really our motivation in all this? We really have, you know, very, very deeply your same interest at our heart. And that is, if you become more successful, that means we will have more members on your platform. And this gives us a vested interest in your success, all of you guys. Our secret goal is for you to have thousands of members on your platform. And that's why we would love to be as involved as Michael and the rest of the leaders would like us to be. If you're all independent and doing great and you don't need our support, we don't get offended at all. But if you'd like us to be in touch with you and really be, hands-on so that you can sometimes get some strategies to get ahead faster, we will be here. And that's really why, you guys maybe don't know, but first of all, Michael had to spend a lot of money to be able to create this platform. Number two, we go through an application process, and actually out of 300 something applications, we only selected 14 people so far. So, why we do that is because we want to stay long-term working with groups, and we want to have a real interest in your leadership, in your success, and that's why we're here. So, that's why we do this. We're very passionate about it, and we hope we can be a part of a small part of your success story.
I just want to say too, I just want to acknowledge Nick Thompson as well. I think Nick, are you still on here?
Yes.
How do I acknowledge you? Yeah, Nick, I want to acknowledge Nick as well, because Nick actually came in this with me. So Nick and I have done this together and invested in this together for everyone. So I really want to acknowledge Nick for his leadership, and also Handi in Indonesia, who also invested in this as well. So just want to acknowledge the two of you, not just me, that it really was those guys coming and investing too. So.
Wow, fantastic. Wow, that's incredible. And all of you now being able to leverage this forever after. Like we said, this is going to be continuously improving. But for now, if you guys don't have really any questions, we're super excited. And Carolyn says, that's awesome. We're super excited to really get started with you guys in the next few days. Then 6-7 days from today, we're going to fix a time. We're going to get on a webinar like this, and we're going to talk really step by step.
By
exactly.
Then we'll be back in Australia.
We'll be back in Australia by then. Yeah, definitely. So Mike, thank you so much for having us. We really super excited we're part of this call today. It's a very exciting day for you guys. And we'll pass it to you for now if there's no other questions.
Any other questions, guys, at all? Otherwise, if you don't, please get in and jump into this and get dirty, play in the mud, have a look at it. Because this is just the beginning, and I'm really excited. I was ready, and I could feel I was ready to take business to the next level. And when the student is ready, the teachers appear, and I was looking for how can we scale things faster, giving the right support. And as I mentioned earlier, what I love about Marsha and Miguel is that these guys have walked the talk, and so I'm very, very grateful and very certain that we're going to really take things to another place. So if you're ready to move your business and get things moving and have a lot of fun and get this growing, get in, hit on the link today, get in, and if you can afford it, and I would really recommend it, jump on the yearly one now with the $50 discount. If you can't, then you've always got the monthly, but get in there, let's get this growing, have some fun, and keep the support going. So thank you so much, guys, and thank you so much to everyone else that's come on today on your Saturday. That's awesome commitment. I appreciate you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
and
everyone.
Have an awesome day, you guys.
Awesome.
Have a fun, everyone. Bye for now.